What's up, Tailgaters? You're in the booth with Tailgate Nate today. Welcome to my channel. Bowl game preview predictions are continuing as we continue with games that are taking place this Saturday. Got two more of those for you coming up today. The UCLA Bruins getting to play in their home city of Los Angeles, California, in the LA Bowl in SoFi Stadium. They are going to take on another team from the West Coast area, from the Mountain West. The Mountain West champs, the Boise State Broncos. First Power 5 team we're previewing, and yet another conference champion in a bowl game on Saturday. The LA Bowl should be a fun one. This is really a coin toss game. Could go either way, and we're going to break down everything Bruins and Broncos in a minute. But before we do, thank you so much for the support the channel has seen as of late. You guys have killed it in the regular season. Continue to show your support in the bowl season by really interacting with the channel any way you can. So whether that's simply watching my videos, subscribing, liking, commenting, sharing, anything you guys can think of, it helps support what I do here on YouTube. And as I've done with every bowl video so far, sometimes it can be a little tricky to really keep track of opt-outs and transfer portal entries and everything like that. So I do have a list down in front of me. But if there are more names that have entered the portal or more names that are opting out that I'm not aware of, again, I'm recording this with the information that I have and reporting it to you guys. Please, Bruins fans, Broncos fans, leave anything I may have left out in the comment section down below. That'd be very helpful to me, and I'm sure everyone else that is going to tune in and watch this video. But let's talk about the LA Bowl here from SoFi Stadium. Bruins and Broncos. This is going to be a very, very intriguing matchup. We'll start out with the designated road team that is the UCLA Bruins. Dante Moore has entered the transfer portal. And again, there's a lot of speculation about where he may go. That's not what this video is, but this video is here to tell you that Dante Moore will not be the starting quarterback into this game. Had 1,610 yards, 11 touchdowns, and 9 picks so far this season, and will finish in all likelihood unless Ethan Garbers, who is going to start this game, absolutely explodes on offense and UCLA scores like 80 points. Garbers has like 700 yards. Dante Moore will finish as the leading passer for this team, but Ethan Garbers, it is his team now. He is the guy that is going to take over. He had 984 yards, 9 touchdowns, and 3 picks, and was much more efficient than Moore. Moore had a 53% completion percentage. Garbers sitting at 66% on the season and a much better touchdown to interception ratio as well. I think Ethan Garbers has a little bit better grasp of the offense, and Carson Ryan, that tight end, is out, but a lot of really, really good my apologies, a lot of really, really good weapons still here in the wide receiver room. J. Michael Sturdivant, the former Cal transfer, had 455 yards this year, but leading the way for things was Logan Loya, 650 yards, 5 touchdowns. Mataval, that starting tight end, 266 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's coming back and playing in this game as well. So you do have a lot of very, very nice offensive talent still returning here for the Bruins. They're a pretty good team on third down. However, they struggle with turnovers, and this offensive line has just not played well all season long. That's something that's going to have to turn around really fast if they want to win this game. Now, defensively, this is a defense that has been stout all year long. They are one of the best defenses in the country in terms of allowing the fewest yards per game, but I believe they are first, second, maybe even third, but at very least a top 5 rush defense in the nation. An absolute crazy 69.6 yards per game allowed on the ground. That's it. Now, there are a lot of defensive leaders that are opting out and will not be playing here in this bowl game. They're absolute stud defensive linemen, and I know I'm going to butcher this name, so I apologize. Latu is not playing. 49 tackles, 13 sacks, 2 pass defended, 2 picks on the season. He is really, really, really good. Is going to be a first-round NFL talent, but wait, there's more, because John Humphrey and Kamari Ramsey are going to be gone out of this secondary. Combined 71 tackles, 7 pass defended, 3 picks. You divvy that up between the 2 of them there. Oh, and also that defensive coordinator in DeAnton Lynn took the USC job. So this is going to be a defense that might be a little bit different schematically and is going to be without a lot of their leaders. But for the most part, this season, or not for the most part, but throughout this season, they've been really good at generating turnovers, and they're great at being able to generate pressure to opposing quarterbacks. Again, a big part of that was Latu on the defensive line. So how much does that change will be a big question. Boise State's not the only team here that sees changes offensively, though, as their starting quarterback in Taylon Green has entered the transfer portal, and I believe I saw yesterday or earlier today that he ended up committing to the Arkansas Razorbacks. Very interesting move. Again, we'll break down transfers in another video. But Tailon Green had 1,752 yards, 11 touchdowns, and 9 picks. And then Madison on Madsen, my apologies, on the season, 1,191 yards. He is that backup quarterback, 9 touchdowns, 3 picks. Again, a little bit more of an efficient passer than Green in terms of completion percentage. Well, with Tailon Green transferring, Madsen would preferably be that starter, but he is out with a leg injury. So they're going to turn to a third-string quarterback here to run the offense through the air. I already talked about before how your leading receiver and Eric McAllister is out, so you're going to need guys like Bowens and Cobbs and Strachan to really step up here. Maybe even a guy like Bolt that only has 6 catches this year, but this is an offense led by their rushing attack, and one of the best rush duos in the Power 5, maybe even a lot better than a lot of the rush duos in the Power 5. Sorry, this is probably the best rushing attack in the Group of 5 in terms of a 1-2 punch. Aston Jonty, George Halani, about 1,900 yards between the two of them and 19 touchdowns. Those are 2 really phenomenal options. It's a really good third down offense and an offensive line that is really stout as well. When you move over to the defensive side here, no real notable names gone here off of the defensive side for the Boise State Broncos. So you are going to get guys like Tebner, Oladipo, Simpson, Robinson. All of those really good leading tacklers here for this team are coming back. It's a really good defense at generating pressure, and sure, the secondary does allow the big plays here and there, and they're not too great at defending passes. Only 39 passes defended so far this year, but 11 picks on the year. They can generate turnovers, and they can be a ball-hawking secondary when they need to be, and especially given that UCLA offensively has just not really been able to get it going as of late. I think that provides a huge advantage here for the Boise State Broncos moving forward. They do have a lot of very nice defensive talent, and all of it should be playing here in this bowl game. Leads me into my what to watch for, your keys to the game, whatever you want to call it, just some things I think you should keep an eye on while you're paying attention to this one. Again, no Dante Moore for the UCLA Bruins. It will be Ethan Garber's team, and he has many dynamic weapons. I haven't even mentioned the running back room yet. You got 2 really phenomenal weapons there. Carson Steele and TJ Harden are phenomenal backs. Both of them have had over 130 carries. Both of them are over 700 yards, and both of them have 6 touchdowns, right around that 5 to 5.3 yards per carry mark on the season. So Garbers with the pass game has a lot of really good weapons to work with the run game has a lot of really good weapons to work with as well. So this is going to be a UCLA offense that, when you take a look over the past couple of performances, hasn't really quite found it. They're going to need to find it here in this game, and Ethan Garbers, with his efficiency, I think it's going to be able to manage the game really well. But a big thing for this offense is the offensive line has to take a huge leap in the right direction. This is a Boise State team that loves to bring pressure. The offensive line has got to be ready, got to step up. They got to create holes for the run game. They got to protect Ethan Garbers to be able to let him find those dynamic weapons downfield. And again, even though their defensive coordinator is gone, even though a lot of the defensive leaders, including Latu, their best defensive player, one of the best defensive players in the nation, gone, I still expect this defensive front to be lights out. Even with Latu gone, that's definitely going to affect this rush defense and this pass rush. But pretty much everyone else on that defensive front should be playing here in this bowl game. Still expect it to be really good and absolutely wreak havoc, but they do have a tough task. So for the Boise State Broncos, we're going to go to the second bullet point, because Jonty and Halani are going to be dynamic and they're going to get their runs, but they do have a tough task ahead, even though Latu is not playing. However, because Latu's not playing, I think Jonty and Halani, but especially Ashton Jonty, has the opportunity to get a lot of very explosive plays and help put this Bronco team in a very good position to win this game. Now, for the quarterback position, up to that first bullet point, no Tailon Green, no Maddox here, no Maddox Madsen. So they're going to turn to freshman TJ Tiller, right? So not TJ Tiller, CJ Tiller, my apologies. He is a freshman quarterback, I believe a former 3-star recruit that has been described by this Broncos head coach, whose name is escaping my mind here. I do have it down in front of me. Spencer Danielson has described CJ Taylor as a very, very smart player. But again, what we're going to get from him is a mystery, but he does have a lot of good weapons, including the two I've talked about in the backfield here. But for Boise State, it's very important that you win the line of scrimmage battle and force plenty of turnovers. That is what has started to plague UCLA here over the past couple of games, not necessarily on the defensive end on the line of scrimmage, but on the offensive end, right? This is an offensive line that has really struggled at being able to protect their quarterback, no matter who it is back there. In fact, taking a look at stats here, the defenses have gotten back to Ethan Garbers 12 times so far this season. So this is a defense that needs, or I should say, an offensive line that needs to protect its quarterback. And I think Boise State, after starting out 3-4, they have found something with Spencer Danielson, and I think Boise State is going to find a way here to win this game. I think it's going to be a struggle for UCLA to drive down the field. I think it's going to be a struggle for UCLA to go score points, and especially without Latu, yes, this is a defensive front that I still expect to play well. You're not going to get as much pressure or be as good of a run defense without him. I think that CJ Taylor comes in, plays well. Janti and Halani have their moments. Boise State makes defensive stops, and they win the LA Bowl. 23-20 is the way I see this one playing out. Let me know your guys' thoughts on how you see it playing out in the comment section below. And hey, as always, remember to play hard but tailgate harder. See you guys in the next video. Goodbye.